Well, good evening, everyone. And as Mr. Drew does his traditional 360-degree spin of doom, it is my job, my pleasure, my pride, even to welcome you to the Studio Rats Live Q&A number 136. My name's James Ivey,
I'm Paul Drew.
and you are all very well. It's nice to see so
Oh,
many.
yeah.
23, and they're all ready. What's going on? It's a beautiful thing. It is tradition for us to start with Mr. Drew. What have you been up to?
I have been this week sorting
This
out.
week?
Huh?
This week, I have mostly been.
I have obviously been eating. No, I've been mostly trying to sort out mortgage stuff, and it's still being a pain in the backside. So, doing videos. I've done a video of what was that? What did I do the other day? Monday, I released something. I can't remember what I did now. Oh, a katana video.
Mhm.
How to do things with the katana, and then tomorrow I've been doing a video today that's not finished yet. I've been profiling the bad cat down there.
Profiling it in what system?
In Tonex.
Right.
Because that's because I'm having a bit of a cull. I need to sell some stuff, and the bad cat is fantastic at certain things. So I needed to I needed to. Do you know what? I've lost my train of thought already. I don't know what's
You need
going
to
on.
get shot, don't you? Basically.
Yeah, I need to get rid of some stuff. Yes, because if the move goes ahead, which we're still hoping it is, I need some money.
Has the Fender Rhodes gone?
Tomorrow.
Right.
Tomorrow. So yes, the guy, a gentleman is coming tomorrow. I'm quite pleased with that. I'm quite pleased with what that is apparently going for. So
good.
Pretty good. Yes, it's all good. It's all good. What about yourself?
We'll come back to your sell-off and stuff and your
yeah. Let's do that
later on. But
let's do that.
But it's been videos and stuff. Hello, what was that? Bit of dust
or flare.
Probably something like that.
Yeah. So go on. Yeah, what have you been up to?
Well, Friday was another year around the sun.
Friday was another year around the sun.
For me.
Yeah, what?
Another orbit of the sun. It was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
And
what'd you get?
Dollars mainly.
Dollar?
Did
you? Oh, well, dollars for dollar for them?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because normally my birthday is either during NAMM or just around it. So Jen normally gives me dollars and says, go and buy something you want over there because it's cheaper. And even at the moment with how it is, it's cheaper. So she said, have some dollars. And I got a scarf from the kids, which was very nice. And mainly dough because, and we went out for dinner, which was lovely. Went to a very nice restaurant around sort of that way a bit, and it was nice. Done the first actual proper track recording in the studio.
Awesome. And how did it sound?
Pretty damn cool, I will say.
Are there things you want to change?
Are
you like, oh, that doesn't sound quite right, I need to sort that bit out? Or
do you know what? No, there was so a mate of mine. I'm doing some videos with him in a couple of weeks. Kev Walker from Unity Audio came over.
Oh, yeah.
And Kev plays drums as well. And we were nattering and stuff. And he said, that kit sounds amazing. And he was doing that thing that as the person playing the instrument, you can't do. You can't listen to the kit from the other side.
Yeah.
And he was wandering around and he went, you have got to put a mic up here. And I went, why? He said, well, swap over and go and stick your head there. And there's this kind of in the corner by the guitar corner.
Yeah.
Up sort of head height.
Yeah.
There is this amazing kind of bass bloom. And the kick drum just goes.
Oh, nice.
So I've put a mic there and it's like instant gratification kick drum, a bit of room tone, and it sounds awesome. So I'm like, right, that's staying there now. I need to work out a way of plumbing it in.
Right.
Permanently, but that's going to stay. everything else is working pretty much as I hoped. All the close mics, you know what you're getting. The guitar system needs a bit of tweaking, only because I need to put the lines in for the aux, because I realised I haven't plumbed it in yet.
Right.
But that can drop down into the stage box to feed the deck. Pedals are still a bit of a challenge because I'm not sure. Basically, what I'm going to do.
What you gonna do?
Is I'm going to exchange my KHE 4:2 switcher.
Yeah.
I'm going to flog that, and I'm going to buy the 8:4 with a loop.
Oh, nice.
And then the loop goes between the head and the speaker. No, that's not right.
Oh, do you know what I was going to say? Why don't you just go and get another 4:2? But that wouldn't make sense, would it?
No.
It wouldn't make sense because you need it all. Yeah. So just in case anyone doesn't know what James is talking about, James has got an amp switcher called a KHE. I think they're made in Denmark, Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Swiss. A really nice amp switcher. Way better than the piece of shit that I bought. God, that thing. Anyway,
and currently I have the four amps into 2 cabs,
so
or low boxes.
So basically, you can switch between 4 different guitar amps without having to unplug anything into 2 separate speakers, or a speaker and a low box, or 2 different low boxes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, nice one.
But what I want is the 8 amp for speaker. So I can have the Grossman, the 4x12, the 2x12, and the aux.
Yeah.
And I can have all the amps plumbed in permanently.
Nice.
Which is cool. And then in the loop, because it has an effects loop which gets switched with the amp.
Yeah.
I'll then put the modulation pedal board, or the delay reverb modulation board, and I'll have the other stuff going into the front end. Have all the other pedals going into the front end.
That completely messes. So it's got a loop in it.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know, but everyone says it's amazing.
How can like power amp out go into a switcher with a loop in it? I guess that's bonkersness.
But hey, if it works,
absolutely.
Bonza.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's great.
So yeah, that sounds like.
Can I put a spanner in the works?
What's that?
Because I thought I needed an amp switcher.
Yeah.
And when I bought my one, I'm not going to name names or whatever, but and actually, I know I haven't got as many amps as I used to have. But to be honest, majority of the time, if I need an amp, I'll plug the amp in. If it doesn't work, I'll go and plug the other amp in. It's not. I would never go through. I thought I would. I thought I'd go through. Oh, let's do this amp. No, that amp's not quite right. Let's do this amp. And then just try and switch between the lot of them. I think there is an occasion you do that, but I think it's quite rare.
But I did do it the other day on the first. Now, maybe I did it because I could.
Yeah.
But I did do it and I thought, no, that's not the right amp. Oh, I should put. I ended up using the Cornford for the rhythm parts and the Synergy with the Dumble.
That's the one.
Module for the lead parts.
Nice.
And then did a whole kind of multi-miking thing, and it was quite clever and nice and stuff. And it was really good. So yeah, I did actually find myself doing the thing that I hoped I would use it for, which was good.
That's fantastic.
I'm also going to get Zilla to do a head for the Rivera.
Yeah, good man. That's stuff. That is such a good thing to do. Oh, by the way, I sold the Pete Thorne, not the Pete Thorne guitar, the PT15 IR.
All right. Yeah.
That I bought for the video, so didn't lose any money, which is good.
And
the guy was fantastic, Andrew, if you're listening, because it literally turned up with a rattle, and basically what had happened with the amp is it's got a load box built into it.
Yeah.
Something had come away inside the load box,
right,
and was rattling around, and he opened it up and fixed it all, rewired it all, and put it back together because he's an engineer, knows what he's doing.
Right.
And what a gentleman! He didn't come back and say, look, this is broken, I want this back and I want that. And so I'm going to look after him at some point if I get something in that might be suitable for him. I'm going to send it over to him.
Cool.
Very nice chap.
Awesomeness.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've been making videos and trying to get back on track with January because obviously it was late starting and then all that sort of stuff. But yeah, all fine and indeed dandy. Should we crack on with? We've got a couple of things that we want to talk. I want to talk about today.
Yeah.
But we'll get on with some comments and questions and stuff and see what happens.
Let's do that.
And it all kicks off with Raymond Donaldson.
Raymond says, looking forward to tonight's live Q&A. I'd interested to know what you folks think of the 2 Notes Revolt Tube preamp. Hi, Raymond. From what I've heard of it, I think it sounds really good.
Is that one of the gold? They do a gold, silver, and a
no,
not gold, silver, and myrrh or something like that.
No, no, that's the LeClean, LeDrive.
That's the ones. Yes.
No, that's. I guess you could say this is a new version.
Right.
They do a bass version. They do a guitar version.
Right.
The only thing that I'm really surprised about, and I can't quite get my head around with it, is that 2 Notes. It's 2 Notes are known for their load box IR simulation. They're not IRs, but they are. But they're yeah, and they're fantastic. It's such a great technology, and they sound brilliant. But inside the Revolt, as far as I know, it's an analog amp sim speaker.
Right.
Sim. So it's basically an EQ.
Yeah, like the old school ones you used to get on.
That's my point.
Dare I say the B word, the pedals.
B word.
Behringer.
Oh, the Behringer. Yeah.
Behringer.
Oh yeah.
We have to call them that from now on.
Oh yeah, definitely
from now
on. So I can't quite get my head around that, but I haven't tried it. For some reason, I don't know what it is. 2 Notes don't seem to be interested in. They were for a while interested in the Studio Rats, and they obviously.
Yep.
James is probably upset them.
I can. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
No, I haven't upset them. I know things.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. So Raymond, from what I've heard, I think it sounds fantastic. I'd really like to see how it compares against their fantastic IR technology. And if you look over there is.
Is the
rack. That's what I use all the time in the studio. It's a 2 Notes Torpedo Studio, and it sounds absolutely mega.
Cool.
So yeah, hopefully try one out soon. John says, Raymond, I'd be interested in that too. I'm thinking of getting one to go with my Cab M Plus, but I've heard a rumor 2 Notes might be adding more preamp models to the Cab M Plus, and that might do me. Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Mr. Moxie says, evening both. Evening Pet. He says, Ox number 2 and a Hudson broadcast came back this week. Nice. Cheers for the help, Paul. Anytime, mate. Did you get the AP Hudson, or did you get the normal Hudson? Let us know. I'd like to know which one you got.
And when did Pet start looking like Chuck Norris?
He also looks like someone else as well in that picture.
Is he as lethal to the world as Chuck Norris?
Probably. Lee says, bonjour, El Chaps. Bonjour, El Lee. Stefan says, greetings to everyone. Greetings, Stefan. Okay, Michael P. Howdy from the great state of Florida.
Florida.
And hey guys, hope you're well. And you, Alan. Chris Williams. Evening, guys and gal. there was one gal last week. There was.
Yes, that actually was. It's a beautiful thing.
I can't believe there's more. Looking at us two, I can't believe the girls are lining up to watch this. Anyway, Jeff Cook, Gleetings. From Brisbane. My office is unencumbered by work this morning because it's a public holiday. Looking forward to 33 degrees. Bloody hell. That sounds awful.
Oh, I didn't. So talking about 33 degrees, I didn't say about the other monumental thing that happened over the weekend. So on Friday, the scaffolders turned up to put scaffolding over the back of my house, and on Monday, we had the solar system installed. Just in time for 2 of the most horrible, nasty days in overcast days in English winter weather history. Yeah, lovely.
That is what happens when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, even though I'm still saving about a quarter on my electric bill each day, which is good. Quarter to a third, which is
that's really good. That's really good for this time of year. I think that's a win.
Defo.
Shep Shepard, he says evening Shep. Vitaly Cook. I've murdered that, haven't I? I'm sorry, mate. It's a nice guitar. What's he got there? Nice, good picture. He said, "Hi, great channel. Cheers, mate." He said, "I'd like to know how you keep your guitar tracks noise free. How do you deal with 60 cycle hum, especially on your singles, pickups, guitars in your studio?" Cutting is your best friend, without a doubt.
Yep.
So, okay, so the way that
and your little finger.
Your little finger.
Yeah, on the volume pot. As you finish anything, wind your volume down.
Yeah. That's another good thing. If you look at Tim Pierce, he uses a foot volume pot to every time he stops, he whips it off. In the studio. Oh, okay. If you're talking about recording, well, it actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other. So if I record a track, I might record from bar 1 to bar 120, whatever it is.
You ain't that good.
Then, what's that?
You ain't that good.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely not. You're right. Yeah. Oh no, there'll be loads of edits in between that. And then I will record. I'll record all that, and then if there's any parts that are just noise, they get cut out. They get cut out and thrown away. Do not under any circumstance use a noise gate in your signal chain if you're in the studio. I just don't see the point in it. And what you'll end up doing is you'll end up having this inspired moment where you want to play this really nice note and you want it to die away naturally, and it will just go.
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't use a noise gate before your amp. Any of that, or even after your amp, even in the signal chain, just don't use a noise gate. And you'll find that 60 cycle hum is only apparent when stuff isn't playing. I don't think I've ever, with any amount of gain, I don't think I've ever noticed a guitar track.
You can use things like iZotope RX. It does have a dehum module that does really well for kind of noisy guitar amps and noisy earth loops, things like that.
Got a guitar module, haven't they? And they've got a guitar.
There is a guitar module now, yeah, and it's brilliant. I did the video, and the video never got used. That was pretty much the run of things for my time with iZotope. Yeah, and I mean, I was doing some recording the other day, and I sat quite near the amp because I wanted to get that kind of the feedback thing going from a speaker and just be able to have a note go into its harmonic feedback, that kind of. Yeah. I was like, oh, it sounds amazing. When you get it right, it sounded really, really good. But yeah, I'd say for me, either a foot volume control, which goes all the way off rather than just like a dip, or your pinky on your volume control.
Yeah, that's true. I'm constantly at the end of playing, it's constantly coming off. When I'm doing videos and stuff, you wouldn't hear the noise because I everything gets edited, so it's all of the bits in between, and it's never that bad. It's never that bad. I don't think.
The only time it's been horrendous, hilariously so, is when we've done the Marshall's dimed, because
and it's normally the lower powered amps that are the problem.
Yeah.
Like that the little MT15 and the PT15, they were noisy amps. The Matchless was more or less silent as far as I remember.
Yeah,
the Marshalls were a bit more noisy. Honestly, Vitaly, just don't worry about it so much. Just cut out the bits you don't need, and don't worry about anything if there's a noisy guitar over when there should be a noisy guitar, as in you're playing over that, and there's band situation. It's different if you're playing if you're doing like Brothers in Arms by Mark Knopfler, where like there's a pad and then there's a distorted guitar. That's a big difference. That the noise is going to stick out like a sore thumb. But in most band tracks, you wouldn't hear it.
Okay, there we go.
Dave McQuillan, good evening all. I hope life's treating you well. Good evening.
Dropped it.
Oh man, he's probably dented his floor now. So look, this is what David makes. David makes these wonderful plectrums made out of old coins, and they're brilliant. Go and check out his reverb store called the Highland Plectrum Company. Chris Wright, hi gents, evening from Felixstowe, Suffolk. That's near you, isn't it?
No, it's near Steve though. Steve Barrett, at Guitar Lodge. Chris, do you know Steve at Guitar Lodge? If you need your guitars and things looked at, he will do it. If you don't know him already, so there.
Felixstowe's near you, though, isn't it? That's near you. That's
well,
near
it's an hour from me.
But and as far as I'm concerned, anything past the River Thames, anything past the Dartford Tunnel, for me is
near me.
Larry's Laz is in the house. He says, "What ho, one and all. I hope everyone's having a great week. Anyone want to buy Paul's guitars to pay for the house move? Yes, having a big sell off. If anyone's interested in buying guitars and stuff, I need to have a cull.
Or you just leave them with me for the time that you don't need them.
True, I could do that.
I vote for that.
Yes, I've had lots of people say the same thing. It's like the classic joke, isn't it? It's like the classic joke. Well, if you don't like it, I love it. That sort of thing. Vinny the Lens says, "Hello guys, hi guys, hi, hello from Florida. Hi Vinny."
That's a new name as well.
No, Vinny, no, Vinny's been in before. Yes.
All right.
Jamie White says, "Hey guys, I know you are more geared towards the Boss Katana, but wonder if you've had any dealings with the Fender GTX series amps." We're not just Boss Katana, although I definitely do appreciate the Boss Katana. But saying that, I've never dealt with the Fender GTX series. Have you ever dealt with GTX?
I think I've used them in sort of rock school scenarios and gone, or someone's turned up with one and I've gone, this sounds good.
Yeah.
Likewise, I've had people turn up with the Yamaha one, the
THR, whatever it is.
The TH. Yeah. And I thought they're really good as well. However, my amp of my gigging amp of choice probably would be a Katana because that's what I've got.
Yeah. So apparently, this is what I think it was on the Guitar Nerds podcast that I listened to. If anyone doesn't listen to that, you should. They were saying, I think it was on that. They were basically saying that Fender are pushing towards digital amps now as opposed to valve amps. And they're going to be. Well, I don't phasing out their valve amps, but I personally think their valve amps are not going to be the made in Mexico series that you can get. Like your deluxe hot rod deluxes, that sort of stuff. I think it's probably just going to be custom shop.
Right.
Which be interesting.
And then there'll be the digital amps.
Well, that's yeah. And then there'll be the digital amps made in a Fender factory, Mexico, whatever. And I heard someone else mention that. I can't remember where I was listening to that. Someone saying that digital amps are really just going to be basically it's everyone is basically going to go digital, and we're going to see valve amps as very sort of boutique, very sort of high end thing that only a few people actually do. Joe Bonham after being there.
Didn't we have this when solid state amps came in?
Do you know? Yes, but that was a different time, wasn't it? I don't think, and that's different. There wasn't a shortage of valves then, was there?
There isn't a shortage of valves now. I mean, it's depending on who you listen to, who you read, and who you speak to.
I hear different things. I hear there is a shortage of valves, and valves are not being made, and are not going to be made as frequent as they have been. But anyway, we're sort of gone off topic, haven't we? A little bit. Sorry, we're going far too deep into the questions. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Jamie.
I've used the GTX to either lubricate my car, anyway, or I've used them at rock schools and they've been great.
Nice. There we go. John McGuigan says, "Evening all. With things like the new Black Star Amp 2, are we seeing the end of gigging with digital amp?" Yeah, look at that. This is basically. I believe so. Yes, I believe this is the start of the end.
As long as it's not the end of the start.
No, I don't want that. Well, I don't know. That'd be better, maybe. Anyway, we'll talk about the Amp 2 in a minute, actually.
Yes, we'll get to that. But yeah, I mean, you've definitely embraced. I think I embraced gigging without an amp, 25 years ago.
So did I.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to have to fly with one. To be honest, the first usable system that came out that I went, I could gig without an amp. It's that.
Yeah.
First time I actually went, do you know what? I don't need an amp anymore, or a myriad of kit to do a million things that thing does perfectly well.
Yeah.
Do I like the Katana? Do I like the feedback on stage? Yes, of course I do, but don't need it anymore.
Yeah,
as long as you have a good PA or in ears.
Without doubt, I think that makes the biggest difference. Vitaly says, "Happy birthday!" Happy birthday to James.
So.
Chris Whitey says, "Me and some old high school mates had our first. I don't know what's the Bryan Adams song? Me as
from school had a band which not real high.
Me and the guys from school had our first band practice in 18 years at the weekend. Katana 50 struggled when cranked. Tones were lost. Wow. Will the 100-watt 2x12 cat solve things? That's interesting.
That 100-watt 2x12 was, well, we know what it was. It was louder than a 100-watt Marshall.
It was louder than 100-watt, yes, but he's saying the tone. Do you know what I think might be the problem with the Katana 50?
Mm-hmm.
Is well, look. So let's read into that. Tones were lost. I'd say if your tones are lost, you're too mid scooped. So you've got to push those mids with anything. With any sort of band situation, those mids have got to cut through. So I would turn up the mids either on the EQ control or on the global EQ. Also, the Katana Mark II. I don't know if the 50 does, but the Katana Mark II 100 has a variation button, so you could try that. It shouldn't. I'm surprised that it got lost though. I reckon it was more your settings than, because what you're doing is you might have it at home and go and think, oh, this sounds great. All I've got to do is now take this to a band practice and then turn it up, and that's not
work like that.
It doesn't work like that at all. It's almost like a recorded guitar tone. It's what you like.
Sound doesn't work like that.
No,
volume does not work like that.
Yes, you've got to turn the volume up, and then you've got to go, well, now I've got to make it cut through the band, so I need to EQ it to cut through the band, as opposed to how you would have it in your room playing to yourself. Someone's given us a doofler. There we go. It's Mr. Moxie. He says, Chuck Norris is coming for you, James. It's a regular broadcast pool. Sounds great. Nice one. Also, the Starlight was uneconomical to fix, so a new one is coming. There we go. Nice one. I'm glad you got that sorted, Pat.
Right, where were we nearly? We were... We were there.
Stefan says, hi, Rockstars. Hope you're doing well. Question to Paul. Did you eventually have the Fender Brad Paisley Silver Telly in your hands? Never did, no. Is that the one with the stealth pickup under the bridge? Under the for the neck pickup? He did one. I heard one. I heard one on a review. I thought the neck pickup sounded really not very good, because I think they did it for like an aesthetic point of view. He wanted an Esquire look, without the neck pickup.
Yeah,
they put a stealth one underneath the scratch plate.
Right. But surely that's the plastic, and the distance is going to make a hell of a difference.
Well, I thought it sounded a bit dull.
Right, that would make sense.
So I would say aesthetically, stop being, Brad, what are you doing? Just stick the pickup through the scratch plate. But no, I would like to try one.
I like the idea of a silver Paisley telly, though.
Yeah, they look really good. They do look really good.
Not a Brad Paisley, but a silver Paisley. Like your red, not your pink Paisley Strat.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a silver. It's a silver.
Oh, nice.
It's Brad Paisley's silver Paisley.
Oh, nice. Okay, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Stefan says, could you comment on any possible drawbacks because of the wood choice? Spruce Paulowina for the body. I don't think I've ever. And honestly, don't worry about stuff like that. I used to think, Fender made some pine guitars.
We've tried one, haven't we?
Yeah, we tried pine guitar. LSL made pine guitars, and I've always thought, oh, pine. That's a cheap old wood, crappy wood. Sound great. Yeah. So, yeah, don't worry so much about the, and Brad Paisley knows what he's doing as well. He wouldn't put out a bad guitar. General comment on that. David Olson, Evening Legends. He says, just unbox the new Katana Artist head and cap. Nice one. Now, if I can manage to disguise it as a potted plant, I'm golden. It's big, isn't it? It's big and heavy. That I tell you what, that 2x12 weighs an absolute ton. But it sounds good. I was really impressed with the sound. I've got it. Just see it behind my Gretsch there. Boss sent me one. Thank you, Boss. Pet says, what determines a good effects loop in an amp? I believe the Bad Cat and some other high-end amps aren't the best. Do you know, I haven't tried the effects loop in the Bad Cat. There's only one effects loop that's really any good, and that is the Friedman stuff. That Dave Friedman makes fantastic effects loops. If you what you can do, Pat, is get one of these. Hold on. I do this every week, and I just end up ruining my pedal cabinet. So you can get one of them, which is a clinulator. So what this is for high-end amps like Two Rocks, Dumbles, Matchless, Bad Cat. I didn't know the Bad Cat had a bad effects loop, so I'll have to check that out. But basically, the way that certain amps work, like the Bad Cat and a Matchless, is they're putting loads. As far as I know, this is, and I could be wrong on this, but this is what I've been told. There's loads of preamp going into the power amp. So if you put an effects loop in between that, it changes the sound of it completely, because you're basically driving too much of that into the loop. Right. So if you put an effects unit in that loop, you're basically distorting the front end, and there's not enough output coming. Right.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's where you need a clinulator. So what you can do, you can turn down the input and you can turn up the output. The thing that I don't understand about this, and it's so poncy, it's like recovery. What is that?
Morning after the night before.
Yeah. So you've got to send. So that's a send to the effects. You can turn that back, and then you can turn back up the level back into the amp.
Yeah.
Then they're not expensive.
Does it work?
Huh?
Does it work?
To be honest, I bought it thinking I was going to use it for the matches, and I plugged it in once and went.
So no.
Yes, it will work. It will definitely work. I just need to spend a bit of time with it, setting it all up. I couldn't quite work out how to set the input level right and then the output level right, because I wanted it to sound exactly like it wasn't in the loop. So it was literally a case of, like when you do this, you plug something in, and the only way that you can tell if it's the same is by then unplugging it. Yeah. And then, so by the time you've done that, you can't make a judgment on. So I need to do it with a pedal switcher. Yeah, taking it out, and then anyway, I will do that at some point. Rock on Gibbo says, "Happy belated birthday, James. I'm after a rig to use live for Silent Stage. I'm thinking of pairing my HX effects with an IR200. Would you recommend this compared to a GX100 or HX Stomp?" That's a good question. I would say, if you like the HX effects, I think, don't get me wrong, the IR200 is brilliant. It sounds great. And the GX100 sounds great. But if you're used to that Line 6 ecosystem, I think you're probably better off with an HX Stomp.
Yes.
Would you say so?
Yeah, because if It makes sense. So that to me would be if you were using the a Boss multi effects, I would then probably say go IR 200.
Yeah.
But because you're using line 6, I'd stick with the line 6 because it's going to mate together better, isn't it? It's just you'd hope.
Yeah, you would, and you also understand about the programming of it and stuff.
Yeah,
you're going to get much more. Don't get me wrong, the R200 is brilliant, and the GX100 I really like. But if you're used to editing on the HX effects, I think you'll get there quicker with the HX Stomp, and it'd be a great setup. I mean, basically, HX Stomp, HX effects, you basically got yourself a line 6 Helix, haven't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mitten Guitars, James, for awareness, KHE new units can place the aux also in line with all the heads without needing to use a cabinet slot. Ah,
cool.
How does that work?
Don't know.
Wow, there we go.
Okay, at this point, we should go.
Ah, Mr. Ray Angel, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Very kind.
Thank you very much indeed. Let me get back to where we were. Where are we? We are.
It was Rock on Gibbo, I think, did the.
It was, yes, it was this one. Yeah, sorry, just done that one. There we go.
Jeff says, I have an older KHE 8x4, so it doesn't have the attenuator loop. It's still the Ants Pants, though. Nice.
They are the mutts. They really are.
Good, yeah, really good. Matt's in the house, Distance on Studios. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Happy Rats Wednesday. And to you, Matt. Benjamin, what do you think of the Fender Super Champ XD? I know it's not a Katana. I don't know the Super Champ XD.
No. I saw it and thought, that looks cool. But
when did that come out?
I don't know. I can't remember now. I'm sure somewhere recently.
Okay.
I don't think I saw it in the flesh. I thought I saw the blurb for it and went, that looks cool.
Nice. Nice. Ned says, hey, great to see you all. And to you, Ned. Shep says, James, Ivy, many happy returns for your birthday. Brian says, greetings from Fair Hill, Maryland. Nice. Sorry I'm late, boys, but I see you carried on without me. So well done. Brad Paisley's Silver Sparkle Telly should have been sent back. Too many issues out of the box. Oh, wow. That's a shame.
However, Brian, that is the mother of all hats.
It's a good hat, Brian. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He's suiting that telly, isn't he?
You wear it well.
Looking good. Ah, Stefan, thank you very much for your kind generosity. So thank you for your answers and also the email response lately. Cheers. Anytime, Stefan.
Right, there we go. So just
Warren James. Hello, Warren James.
Hello.
Pep says, good evening, gentlemen. Paul, you've got to make some more Guitar Licks videos. You already have done that, but I'd love some more. And I think people would love that too. Thank you, Peps. I will try and get around to that at some point. But thank you, yes. Rock and Gibbo, do you chaps think sight reading is important for the modern guitarist? It's a really good question, that. I've had a few auditions for some gigs recently, and everyone seemed to be after players with good reading ability. That's really interesting.
I think it depends on the gig you're going for. I mean, if you're going to do a Butlins gig or a ship gig, you need to be a good reader. That's part of the job. If you're auditioning for Jamiroquai, there's a fair chance you probably don't need to be a great reader. Just a normal human being. Hey, Paul?
Obviously not.
Or actually, probably not. Yeah. Is it important in? I think it's one of those skills, isn't it? If you can do it, you'll always be able to do it. You might need some honing from time to time. My sight reading's probably gone to pot on drums, but I still know what to do. I still can do it. Every so often I end up with a gig where it's a reading job and a chart turns up and I'm like, okay, fair enough. Great. Is it important? Yes. Is it essential? No. Depending on the gig you're going for.
I think you've answered that. I think for me, I'm not a reader, not a good reader at all. I can read. It would take me. I'd have to spend days reading something before I actually performed it. Do I wish I'd have learnt sight reading? Yes. I always used to think when I was younger, I always used to think, if I learn this, I could be spending the time that I'm learning on this, improving this. And I do think it's important. I think you are going to have more opportunities. I've never had that opportunity, but maybe I haven't. So I've never had an audition where I've had to read, but maybe I haven't had that because I haven't been put forward for that reason.
Yeah. I mean, I've turned up to auditions for reading jobs and been told, yeah, your reading's A+. And I'm like, great, that makes me happy. I couldn't sit down and read a guitar chart. I can read bass enough to read a bass line, but guitar,
it's so complicated, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got such a lot going on, so many fingers.
Well, no, it's not just that, but it's the different positions that you can play.
Yeah,
at one note,
and you get caught up.
It's so easy to get caught. Yeah, I mean, great readers are. I think if you're going to go and work for some of the great sort of film scorers, it's probably quite important.
Yeah, if your name's Dean Parks, he could read fly shit and he'll nail it every time.
Yeah.
And I suspect, although I can't say this for certain, I suspect Tim Pierce is the same.
I don't know actually about Tim Pierce. I've got a feeling he's not a reader. Could be wrong.
But hey, who cares? The noise he makes.
Great. He's great. He doesn't need to. Yeah, he's great. Benjamin says, "Hello guys, what do you think of?" Oh, we did this one. I have the feeling I feel a difference when playing on a tube amp and my Cat Artist Mark II. What's your opinion on that? I do think there's a different feel of playing through a tube amp, depending what tube amp as well, and a Katana. Certain tube amps, we've talked about this before, certain tube amps are really fast in the way that they react to your playing, and some feel more spongy.
Right.
The Katana probably feels very immediate because it's a solid state, bits of it solid state, possibly. And maybe that's not what you like. Maybe you're used to more of a spongy feel.
I do like playing for a Valve amp. I have to admit, I had a great time with that lot the other day. I was like,
yeah. No, it's great. Yeah. Rick Mason says, "Come on, guys, loads watching. Give us a like. Thank you, Rick. Yes, it really does help. 3 likes. Give us some more likes. It does really help us. Thanks, guys." Steve Resendez says, "Benjamin, I love the SCXD. Very underrated amp. Takes pedals well and great for recording." There we go. Nice one.
I don't know that one.
It's a nice guitar he's got there, isn't it?
That's lovely.
Ben says, "Thanks for your feedback. Well, bought it yesterday secondhand. It's the first time I played on a tube amp, but compared it to my Cat, I really feel the difference. It's like I feel more the guitar." Fantastic.
Now this is funny.
Larry says, "I turned my JCM 900 on at rehearsals this week without touching the controls. Thankfully, I'd warned the lads to get their plugs in before I hit standby. It might get loud." Yeah, so James and I borrowed Larry's 100-watt JCM 900 to do that video with, and that thing sounds awesome.
It does, but my God, they're loud.
Oh, it's loud. It's loud. Yo, chats, when is Paul's wrist video coming out? Oh, don't. We'll see. I'll have to see about that. I have to learn some new ones.
I think there needs to be a bloopers reel as well.
Oh my God, yeah. That's it. I should put that at the end of the video, just me swearing at and go, swearing at my inability. Steve says, "Howdy fellas, greetings from LA. My new live gig has me switching to in-ear monitors for the first time. I would appreciate any pointers you may offer for a smooth transition." Just stick with it. Keep them in. The only thing that I find frustrating about in-ear monitors is when people are talking to you. So say like you're doing a sound check and your ears are in, and then someone's talking to you and you have to take it out and you have to talk to them, because
what you do is you say, "Speak into the microphone, please. Then I can hear you."
That's true. But if it's another guitar player or a keyboard player that hasn't got a microphone. But I do agree. It's almost like there should be a microphone on the stage.
The thing The thing that will take the longest to get used to is the fact that you can no longer directly control your sound unless you do what Paul has done and give yourself a kind of more me control in your mix, and you do that through the Axe Effects, or your PA company or whatever you're using can give you iPad or phone control, which is what I do to artists and people when I'm doing gigs. I give them, get them log into my Wi-Fi. They can then talk, and I basically set them up on the phone. They only have control of their aux. They can't get in and mess with the front of house. They can just tweak their own auxiliary, and it works brilliantly. I've even done the same thing in the studio. So
yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I think if you can have a way of controlling your own monitors, so you can, because there's nothing worse than saying to the monitor engineer, if you've got one, oh, can I have my guitar up a little bit? Can you turn this person down? Can you turn that person down? Or can you turn the main mix down? I think once you get that main mix, if you can get yourself a little mixer, even just like a little 4-channel mixer, so you get your stereo feed from the monitor mix that you want, drums, guitars, bass, whatever from everyone else, and then you've got another 2 tracks which you can control of your own level, and then you've always got that where you can just push things up or bring things down if you need to. Yeah,
definitely.
Chris says, yes, I know Steve at Guitar Lodge lives less than a mile from me. Look at that. So anything about where I live, there aren't really any musicians here.
What? You've got Eric Clapton down the road?
Apart from Eric, but he doesn't like me coming round. I've got a restraining order. On his door. Eric.
What again? Not you again, Drew. Right, here we go.
No, yeah. Thanks, Ray. Thank you very much. He says, since I do everything through the record out of my Katana Artist, I'm thinking of trading it in for a Katana 100 head. 100 head. Any thoughts? Hold on. Since I do everything through the record out on my Katana Artist, I'm thinking of trading it in for a Katana 100 head. Oh, because you don't want to have to carry around the speaker. Yeah, why not? Absolutely. If you don't ever use that speaker, the great thing about the 100 head, this is the. I've got so many Katanas here.
Katani.
This is the Mark II head, 100, as opposed to the artist head. This actually has little speakers in it as well. Got two little speakers, and they sound great. So you can use that as a.
Nice.
Yeah. Too much guitar now.
Is there such a thing?
Yes. Right.
Thanks.
Oh, and Alan, thank you. He said, thanks for all the good content. I have a few beer tokens on me. Thank you, Alan. That's very nice.
Thank you very, very kind. Boom. There we go. Back to where we were.
Guy B says, evening, lads from Hertfordshire. Evening, Guy B.
We're playing there in a couple of months, aren't we?
Yeah.
In lovely Welland.
Oh, there we go. Vitaly says, thanks for the answer. Greetings from Ukraine. Greetings, mate. I hope you're safe and well and all that sort of stuff.
And that thing gets sorted out soon.
Bloody hell, let's hope so.
Indeed, mate. Indeed.
Indeed, K. Michael P. Indeed. Zipep says, going to sell my other house and besides the need of a car, I don't know, but I already have a little gas gear acquisition syndrome. The wife had already warned me off. 2 houses. Other house. Awesome.
Other house. Yeah, sell the other house. You don't need that. Well, unless you have the other house for the gear.
True. Could be. DG Play Nice. Wee. I don't know why what the Wii's for, but thank you for the Wii.
We love a bit of Wii.
Steve says, Benjamin, I'd recommend upgrading the tubes and speaker. It would really bring it up to another level. There we go. Nice. Hello, Paul. Can you speak of your past comment on holding out buying a Kemper? I can't yet. 16th of February, I think it is. I can't yet. I wish I could. I really wish I could. Yes. FPV TV. Hi FPV TV. Love my Tone Master Deluxe Reverb. Nice. Yeah, I still haven't tried. I'd like to try one of them. I think that's the way the Fender's going. More that sort of Fender amp, like a single Fender amp, but it's digital and digitally bits. As a Peps, having my Katana working all the way, I feel the need of a bigger sounding reverb because the ones in the Katana are short. Any recommendations? Have you
updated the firmware?
Well, yeah. Are you using Tone Studio, because you can change the length of the reverb?
Yes.
So you need to plug it in. If you want to change the reverb, go and plug it in, and then once you've tweaked it to how you like, you can unplug it.
Yeah, I actually need to do the upgrade on that one. I haven't done it yet.
Okay. David says, wouldn't it be great, if Boss did the Katana like the Amp 2, or even better yet, in stereo with some amps like the ones in the IR200? Wouldn't it be great if Boss did the... Yes, I couldn't agree more. I don't understand why they didn't do that. If you plug a USB lead into the Katana, you can get the stereo effects.
Yeah. So it clearly is stereo. It's just not at the power amp stage. Yeah,
and I guess that makes sense because they'd have to put another power amp in. But personally, I think that's a sell. A Katana.
I think a 2x50 as opposed to a 100.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, a 2x50, but yes, a 2x50 in one cabinet.
Yeah,
I guess you could just go and buy 2 100s, but
which we know is an awesome thing.
Yeah, and that is a great thing about the Katana is you get another Katana, you can plug it in that stereo link mode, and it just sounds immense. I need to do another video on that. Actually, now I've got so many Katana. Steve, thanks, bro. I'll have a look at it. Which speaker would you put?
Which speaker? Creambacks.
Yeah. There we go.
I'd put Creambacks. I'd even go as far as to say I'd put the Neo Creambacks in because they're light.
Yeah, I think he was asking Steve. I don't think he cares about our opinion.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't, to be honest. Yeah, no, James is Creamback on Greenback. So FPTV, I was thinking of getting the Boss IR200. Nice. It's really good. The reverbs in that are really, really good.
Would that make me... It would make you the proper baddie from Danger Mouse, but it would make me Baron von Creamback.
Oh, I see. Very good. Baron von Creamback. Yeah. Look at that. Lee says, thinking about the Amp 2. Thing about the Amp 2 is so far all the videos I've seen, no one likes the sound of it. Lol. Really? Wow. I didn't. Oh, I thought the clean channel sounded like trash.
Like a Marshall clean channel.
Huh?
It's like a Marshall clean channel, not very clean.
It wasn't. And this is what some of these amp manufacturers do, or some of these sort of, it's not a modeler, but whatever it is they put like a Fender channel on it, and you've got a switch on it which can change between 6L6s, EL34s, and EL84s. Mm-hmm. So just say you stick it up the 6L6 standard sort of Fender amp sort of configuration, and then turn the gain all the way up. It was still clean. What's that about? How many how many Fenders, if you turn the gain all the way up, are clean? They're not clean.
They're not.
It's not clean at all. It's just... I thought the clean channel sounded absolute garbage, but the drive channel sounded really good. Steve says, Benjamin, check out Weber speakers. They're great. Nice. There we go. Sean, is that how you spell Sean? Sinan?
No, Sean is S-E-A-N.
I'm sure I've seen Sean spelt that way as well. Sinan. Sinan.
Yeah.
Hi guys, how do you connect Axe-FX 3 with Universal Apollo interface? 2 different ways. You can either go out SPDIF out, which is how I do it. So SPDIF out of the Axe-FX 3 into SPDIF in on the Apollo. Make sure on the Apollo you switch on the sample rate convert button at the top if you're not running the same sample rate, or you can just go line out and just go outputs 1 and 2 straight into the interface.
I had that on a session the other day. I went to play back and everything was like, and it was a 96k session, and it was playing back at 44.
Pro
48.
Tools is good at that. I used to get so stung with Pro Tools with that. It's the amazing thing about Studio One is you can record like a 44.1, switch it up to 96 and record at 96 and just switch it about. It's amazing.
I actually found myself using Studio One this week, or the last couple of weeks, because of one of the things I was doing. They haven't done the AAX version of the plugin yet. And right. Other than a few things where I like, what? How can I just want to do this? I want to grab all the fade. I want to group all the faders and just go, and I found that really difficult. But it's probably
Apple G, isn't it? A Command G.
I couldn't remember. I didn't know that. Anyway, I probably, if I'm going to do the swap, I probably need to go back to school on Studio One. But very impressed.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Really slick.
And it worked really well with HDX as well.
Oh, did it?
Mm.
Oh, interesting. There we go. There we go. Stefan says the silver one has the visible pickup. Ah, nice one. There we go. Okay, thanks, he says.
Boom.
FPV TV, that's hard to say. Tonewood is a myth unless we're talking about acoustic. Might be talking to the wrong people.
and as we say the next two.
I'm not saying I wasn't saying it doesn't change the sound of it. I'm saying that there's a lot of woods that I wouldn't mind using.
Yes.
But I definitely think different woods sound different. But I don't want to get into that argument with anybody. Yeah. David Robinson, first tellies were Pine. P.S. Any more Katana artist vids in the offering? Yes, there is. There is. James and I have got to make one.
Yes.
Vinny the Lens. I have an RS Guitarworks Palomino telly. It's acoustically the loudest electric guitar I've ever owned. Super resonant. Nice. Zipeps. By the way, the front logo on the Katana is so ugly that I'm thinking of taking it off. Also, the letters Boss make me go to. Maybe I'll replace it with something else or maybe nothing. Yes, I think there's probably, and it's unjustified, but I think there probably is a thing about, people going out on stage with a Boss amp. And there shouldn't be, because it sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
Wear it with pride, I'd say. Stefan says, thanks for comment, Vinny. I noticed when I played the silver one in the store, it was just so incredibly light. Nice. Jim W, are you planning to release any more GX100 presets? Are you using the unit live? I haven't used it live. Have I used it live? I don't think I've used it live. It basically comes out on every gig as a backup, just in case something goes down.
Other than the gigs we're doing, are you doing many gigs at the minute?
No, I'm not actually. No, I need to. I could do with a few more. Actually, I'm not sure I could do with a few more gigs. No, my old regular band are with Danny Litchfield. Danny band has really been few and far between.
Oh well, I'll keep us out there I'll get us some more then.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this next one, and then I want to pause for a couple of things I want to talk about, which makes it very funny.
Mendel says, "Evening all, late to the party today. Cheers, evening, Mendel."
Right. At this point, I'm going to stop. We've got a couple of things we want to talk about. I've got probably 2 or 3.
Okay.
Right. First thing. Oh, computer's wailing at me. My PC's wailing at me. So while you are, Mr. Guitar and all that sort of stuff, tell me, and you're looking to slim down your kit, aren't you? Your rig, because when you move house to the new house, you won't have a studio to move straight into.
Yeah.
You're probably going to end up in a box room or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're having a bit of an eBay off or a cull off of gear, aren't you?
Well, I'm trying to avoid eBay because I don't want to pay the fees. I can't afford to pay the fees. Anyway. Yeah.
Tell me the minimum amount of kit that you think you can get away with, and what kit will be, as in what to do what you've been doing up to now, videos and recordings and stuff. And it's the video thing that makes life more difficult. far more difficult because it's difficult enough making a record or doing a recording. It's a whole nother thing doing a recording of doing a recording.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot more difficult. So there are people can say, "Oh, I just need interface." Well, actually, you need quite a bit more than that if you're doing videos and stuff. It's complicated.
What are you talking just on guitar? We're talking just guitars. We're not talking about studio stuff, though, are we?
Yeah, but for you, I'm thinking for you because obviously you being a guitarist.
Okay, so not going into all the cameras and the microphones.
No, audio kit.
Okay, the things that I couldn't do without were the things that will make my life easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I need a Strat, a Tele, a twin humbucker guitar, and some of the P90s. I would say so. A Strat, a Tele. If I had to choose one twin humbucker guitar, it would be the Sir Pete Thorn.
Yeah.
The Les Paul that would go there. That one.
Yeah.
What did I say? Some with P90.
That P90 Strat is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be foolish to get rid of the P90 Strat because it's a master built. It's a one-off. That was that really special guitar, and it's that's a bit of a heirloom, as it were.
Mm.
I get it.
It's Harrison's college fund.
I get it. Some people either love it or hate it.
I love it. I have to admit.
I think it's fantastic. Yeah, it's such a great guitar, and it really is. It's probably the best guitar that I've got, and all of them are good. All of them are really good, but that's a really good guitar. Just the whole build quality is fantastic.
Hmm.
But if I had to get rid of it, probably if I had to make videos, I had to get rid of everything. If I had a Tele, I'd be all right.
Okay. What about the rest of the kit? As in, because obviously we've got a lot of kit that helps us do the whole video thing. So presumably you're running one or two audio interfaces, or just the one?
Two. Yeah, but I don't need two. It's just the way that everything was plugged in. I don't really need amps anymore. Although I like amps and stuff. I mean, if I don't have to get rid of stuff, I won't.
Yeah.
But, if anyone wants anything, let me know.
Okay. So what do you think is on your, definitely sellable list?
So the things that I've offered about, so the Les Paul, the 57 Les Paul, that one there. The Hulk. I know.
God.
It's just like, I'm just trying to think. So this guitar, which is a custom shop 57 Les Paul, dark back.
Oh my God, I love that guitar.
It's a brilliant guitar. It's a really good guitar, but it doesn't get used enough. The Hulk.
That's a brilliant guitar as well.
That's a brilliant guitar. This is a Fender. It's a custom shop Strat. Do you know some dick? I put this on. Did I put it on eBay? And someone sent me a message telling me how bad the relic job was on it. Just like, why would you do that? Just what a waste of everyone's time. Anyway, that.
What about the Brian Setzer?
Yeah, possibly. Possibly because it doesn't get used very much.
Wow.
Possibly the Nocaster. Nocaster hasn't got anything on the headstock, and it's got the chunky neck.
Wow.
A really nice flame. Can you see the flame in the neck?
Yeah.
There we go. It's really
Can you hear the sustain on that?
Hear the sustain on that. And I'll maybe even. No.
God.
I know. I don't want. Like, all of them are great guitars, but. Needs must.
Yeah, it's only a guitar. It's only. I mean, as long as you've got your four tools of the trade, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I can do. Yeah, and then I'll build it up again at some point. But,
so here's basically reach out if you've seen anything of Paul's videos in the last 6 months. Reach out. There's a fair chance he's flogging it. So, my mate, Greg, Larry North, Farah, reached out and said, the Mark Knopfler Guitar Stories is doing the rounds again. The one where John Ilsley and he chat about guitars and stuff. That's a brilliant documentary.
It is really good, isn't it? It is really good.
It's a really nice watch. If you've got some of time.
But when you're a little bit disappointed, sorry, I should let you finish. You finish first. Yes, if you've got some time,
just watch it. It's a really fun, really nice watch. I really enjoyed watching it. I've watched it twice now. I was like, this is such a good documentary.
Yeah, I watched it once when it came out, and then I watched it the other day. It is really good. The only thing I was a little bit disappointed with was like the guitars that he chose. It was great that he chose the 62 Strat.
Yeah.
And the 50. He got a 59 or 58 Les Paul.
Yeah. And the National came out, of course.
Oh, the National came out, yeah. But there are other guitars, and the thing is that 62 Strat, he wasn't known for that. He was known for a maple neck Strat.
Yeah,
that was the one that he always used to use, like in the earlier albums to Brothers in Arms and stuff. But even Brothers in Arms, he's such a great player, though, isn't he?
It's effortless. I think that's
so good. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite guitar players.
So
you know it's him. You know it's him.
There aren't many who you can hear one note and you know exactly who it is.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And like listening to him play, some of the songs, and I know they're only like little snippets. Just go, how did you come up with that? It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. So the other thing I want to talk
about,
is what happens when gigs go wrong.
So what's happening? Because you said like a gig's gone wrong. What actually happened at the gig?
Right. So I'm not going to name names at any point, and I'm not going to give the scenario. But so on Saturday night, I was doing sound for a gig, so PA hire and sound, and there were a few things that there was a DJ as well, and he was part of the band, if you like, all part from the same agency.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nightmare gig. It was like you've got 45 minutes from the time the door opens to get set up with a 7-piece band and be sound checked.
Right.
And we've got my QSC 4K PA going in and like monitors and stuff. And now I've streamlined that rig so I can be making noise in 10 minutes, which is pretty impressive with a PA, I think. Did the first set, all is fine, trying to wandering around, making sure it sounds good and everything. So at the end of the second set, the band come off and there is an altercation, in as much as there's been some communication between the event organizer, the client, and the band.
Was the event organizer there?
Yep, she was there. Basically, you haven't played enough time. You need to play some more. You haven't done 2 1-hour sets. You've done a 50 and a 50.
Okay.
So 20 minutes short. Please, can you go on and do another 15 minutes? Now, through one reason or another, the band didn't.
What do you mean?
They didn't go back on. And it was a 7-piece band. And by that point, 5 minutes after we'd finished the set that should have then gone back on, the drummer had packed up and was out the door, was on his way out.
Oh, no.
So there's been quite a lot of he said, she said, blaming left, right, centre. It's all got quite horrendous. But what I want to know is, from your point of view, once you've finished the gig, I mean, it would look so bad to go back on it. We're going to do well. We've said we'll finish and we're coming back. That would look horrific.
I think if you're a stadium rock band or if you're a famous rock band, I think it would look horrific. But you're not. You're getting paid by a client to do a job.
The client has had a 5-minute chat with the band, and the band have turned around and said, "No, we're not going back on."
Why would you not?
Some of the band have said we're not going back on.
So how long did they actually play for? Did they underplay?
Yes, by about 20 minutes.
There's no argument. There's no argument there. The band messed up, and the client needs to be given some. I mean, it's just that's inexcusable.
Now the client has been given money back, a reasonable chunk of cash back, and the agent has said, "Band, you can decide how much you're knocking off your own fee for your efforts in the gig," which I think is very smart.
I think it's very generous. Yeah,
I think it's very generous. But I think it's quite smart as well. The whole kind of you decide how much at fault you were.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It's an interesting way of sorting the problem.
And have people come back?
So obviously, once it gets to invoicing levels, you don't have to. It's not part of a WhatsApp group, is it anymore? It's just
right.
You decide, but it's interesting. It's an interesting way of doing it. But I mean, I've never been in that situation. So with me, I would always play a couple of minutes over.
Yeah.
To make sure we've done time, always. Yeah. And then if someone shouts out more, we'll do one more. Unless someone starts throwing readies at you, then you play longer. I must admit, I've never had the situation where I've come off, thought I've finished, and then been told to go back on. You haven't done enough time. I've come off, done like the third set of the night, and then someone said, "Here's another grand to go back and do more." Yeah, that's very different.
Yeah.
Hello, we're back. We thought we'd finished, but we're back. I just wondered if anyone else has had a similar experience. I mean, I've certainly finished gigs early where there has been issues early doors.
Yeah, like the band goes on late because they've because they didn't plan it right, because dinner's gone over by 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah, and you've been booked for a 3:45s and you only get a 45 in before curfew on the venue. That's happened plenty of times.
That's not the band's fault.
No,
I think it's completely the band. If you're getting paid, if the client has signed a contract, or the agent has signed a contract and booked the band and said, guys, you've got to play 2 45s, 2 1 hours or whatever, you play. If it's 2 45s, you play 2 50s.
Yeah.
If it's 2 1 hours, you play an hour and 10, whatever it is, just to make everybody happy. And you want to make the client think at the end of the night, you did a good job because you want to be booked again. And that's the same with any business.
Yeah. What's the phrase? Under promise, over deliver.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time.
Should we get on with the news?
Let's do that. I need to share my screen, don't I?
You do.
There's some interesting things.
Oh. Shall I warm up my vocal cords?
Let's start with this. This I thought was amazing. So, I mean, okay, so Joe Bonamassa.
I watched the little video snippet and went,
"Oh, I haven't seen it." Yeah. So Joe Bonamassa he's basically done a deal with IK Multimedia to profile his amps, so you get the Joe Bonamassa sound. I think that's amazing.
I think it's amazing. I think a lot of people are going to be going, why don't I sound like Joe Bonamassa?
They will definitely be doing that. Are you surprised he's doing that as well? I'm surprised, but I'm surprised and I'm not surprised because, Joe Bonamassa pretty much, he's quite good at selling things. Let's put it that way.
like his soul.
Well, I mean, it's different, isn't it? I mean, and if I was him, I'd probably be doing exactly the same thing. If I had the opportunity of selling some flip-flops or whatever, I'd sell some Joe Bonamassa flip-flops or some Paul Drew flip-flops. But I'm surprised because he's such a valve amp, sort of guy. He's such a straight, guitar, pedals, valve amp, or guitar into valve amp, and his tone is so good. You think that he would go, no, I'm not interested. And he said it before, where like he's not interested, or he's tried profilers, he's tried such and such a thing, and he just doesn't like them. He doesn't get the same sort of response off it. But he sort of sold his soul and he's having his amps profiled. But I think it's fantastic for the rest of us who want to play through his amp.
But I mean, I remember I commented on the video and said, "Wow, that sounds like Eric Johnson," because it just does.
But he'd admit that. He'd admit
yes.
that, and you know
Yeah.
that's his thing. And but he's so good. He's such a great guitar player. So basically, you've got some Joe Bonamassa twins. These were his low power twins that he released. Then you've got a couple of Dumbles. This Mesa Boogie thing, I don't know what's going on with that.
A whole rack load of Fenders, which sorry, Marshalls. The big mega flight case of Marshalls was amazing.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I can't wait to hear it and actually play through it. And I think that would do really well because he's so his sort of tone is so respected.
He's a guitar player's guitar player as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's so good. Yeah, he's brilliant. Neil, I don't know. Double denim. I've not been looking up double denim, people, just in case. Yeah, I thought this was a bit of a wrong one.
Right.
And Neil Sean's had Neil Sean goes to PRS and has lots of custom guitars made.
Yeah.
And he's done a Silver Sky with a Floyd Rose. I don't like it.
I love the color though. The finish is amazing.
Yeah, that was the they released that color a few years ago as a limited edition, and people bought them up and started selling them for 10 grand. And it's and they didn't. People got bored with it. They're not that much of a
nice
thing.
though. Beautiful guitar.
Apart from the Floyd Rose. But interesting, and he's put, I don't know what the pickups are in it. They look like noiseless, like the Fender noiseless pickups. I don't know what they are. I'm not sure. Yes, a Nebula. That was the color. That Nebula thing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but Neil Sean is great. He's good player, great player. I can't get my head around this. So John 5 has joined Motley Crue.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Is he still alive?
Who? Mick Mars?
Johnny 5.
No, it's not Johnny 5.
I know.
Yeah. So John, this is almost like, what do you say? It's like taking a gun to a knife fight, whatever
yes. Yeah. You've brought a gun to a knife to a gunfight. Yes.
That's it. That's it. It's a gun to a knife fight. I mean, John 5, amazing guitar player playing for Motley Crue. I don't understand what's going on there.
I'm sure there's money involved somewhere.
I'm sure there's a lot of money involved somewhere, and fair dues. But John 5 is far too good. Kiesel brought out some new guitars.
Ooh.
I don't like that. This thing here. What is that? I don't like that. That looks like that. That Gibson they brought out recently. The weird.
Yes. Yeah. Although I quite like I'm not sure how many strings. It's probably got too many strings, but that purple one looks amazing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. It's an 8 string.
Oh my god.
Not neat. Yeah. And the gem. No, I don't. Do you know what? I know John Wallard plays. He might be on tonight. He plays. He's got a load of Kiesels.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's one. I like the P90 Les Paul.
Yeah.
And I possibly like that one, the Stratty thing.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest. Anyway. But
I'm a wrong one when it comes to guitar design anyway. So
you are such a wrong one. You probably love this.
I quite like those. Yeah,
of course you do. So Kramer have launched the SM1 It's a figured AAA maple top shred machine, high spec components for less than $1,200.
They're ace. I'm sorry, that's ace. Look at that.
No. Anyway,
I like the purpley red one at the front one.
I know likey. Go on then.
Oh, it's time for our Harley Benton moment of the week.
So Harley Benton released their new Les Paul. I like it actually. I think
They look great.
great.
Look at that.
If you saw that, if I didn't know that was Harley Benton, as we say every single time, if you didn't know that was a Harley Benton, I would say that is a premium guitar that's going to cost you $2,500.
Yeah.
And
it has to be said, though, we've not played any of these yet.
No, we haven't. It's true. They're priced at 349 of your finest euro.
Wow, that's expensive for an HB.
It is, isn't it? It is. But they look pretty premium. Anyway. Guitar case, so Keeley Parallax, delay and reverb.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, great. Yeah. See this? The aluminium. A guy's basically melted down 1,000 cans.
Yeah.
And built this aluminium guitar.
That's cool.
It is quite cool, isn't it?
But it sounds amazing.
Do you think it's so? With 1,000 cans, because obviously you think a can, well, they don't weigh much, but a solid lump of aluminium like that's got to be quite.
It might not be solid. It might be. It looks like it's been welded. There's a weld line. I reckon that's a top. That's a top, a back, and sides.
I can't see it.
No, there. Round. Yeah, that looks like a weld. No, not a weld, but like a joint round the
there.
Jack socket. Round the jack socket. That looks like there's a line.
I think that's a shed. No, I think it's a shadow.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
It doesn't look like a solid lump of aluminium would weigh a ton.
It would weigh a lot, wouldn't it? That's what I thought. Yeah. And it wouldn't need to be solid, would it? I guess.
No, you do it hollow.
Yeah, and then Phil McKnight's new guitar company, this GX1 Red Line.
We talked about those last week, didn't we? I think they're nice.
Oh man, I don't get it. I don't get it. No, I don't like that. But I wish him well, and I do hope they do well. So Blackstar Amp 2 compact all-in-one amp solution. It looks good. Shame about the clean sound. How much is it? I think it's 500 quid or something. Has it got a valve in it? Is it valve?
I don't know.
I mean, obviously in the preamp stage, not in the power amp, but that would be class D. But
yes, one would hope so, but who knows?
I don't know. I mean, you'd think that a company like Blackstar would actually put like a little slot in it where you could see the valve.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. So there's that. And lastly, I like the colours. Epiphone Newport bass. I think they look quite good.
That looks like someone's taken a P bass, put it in the oven. It's kind of got a bit melty and gone. Ugh.
Well, that's basically what it was. I guess that's what it was. You know, it was Gibson or Epiphone trying to copy sort of the P bass and get some of that. I think they look really good.
No, sorry, mate. Whereas
honestly, that, and you like the look of that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Jesus. Well, that's me done.
Oh, there we go. Boom. Cool. Well, very exciting.
Very exciting.
Right, let's plow on through these Erum questiones and stuff. Here we go.
Ray says, "Should I trade my Katana Artist?" Oh, okay. Should I trade my Katana Artist for 100 watt? Didn't we done this one? Someone else asking that. Sorry, Ray saying, "Should I trade my Katana Artist for the 100 watt head and just do everything through the record out?" I think it's definitely worth trying it, seeing if you like the sound you get out of it. I think the head is. I mean, I don't know. I possibly wouldn't trade it. I think keep the artist head, the extra weight, carry it around just for those times where you need the speaker. I would say.
Yeah.
Love you, Marshall Studio Vids. Cheers, HK. I bought the SV28 and I love it. Nice one. Yeah, good.
Which one's that? Studio Vintage. That's the Plexi, right?
Pet says sight singing is bloody tricky, and the guitar for that matter. There we go. See, Peps saw some Katana front grille painted or changed, but nothing great. Maybe some red Tortex, but besides that, I can't get it here in Portugal. It'd be very expensive to have someone doing it for me. Paul McKinnon's in the house. He says, Paul, regarding your audition for Jamiroquai, I've seen that video. Was it Rob Harris that you heard who went in just before you got it? And honestly, how good do you think he is? He's brilliant. He's an amazing guitar player. He's really good. And he should have got this. He deserved that gig way more than I did. God.
He is the most calm guitar player, though, because that's not a gig where you're going to get to solo much.
No, I think live. No, not in the studio, definitely not. But in live, definitely. I think
the guitarist was Simply Red. You know, it's a rhythm gig.
Yeah. No, I think Rob Harris is top notch. I think he's brilliant and deserved to get that gig way more than I did. Well done, Rob. Rock on Gibbo. Do you have any tips on how to be productive musically? Sometimes I find it hard to use my time effectively. Do you find any tips how to be more productive music? Rock on Gibbo does have. He always got good questions.
So I would say, are we talking practice wise? Or are we talking creatively songwriting? Or the best way to practice is to actually plan your practice. Don't just do what most drummers do and turn up and go, try something and go, blah, 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 and then try the same thing again and then fail and then let rip, do something you can do. Actually have a constructed practice approach. You know, buy a book, listen to something, watch something on eBay or not eBay, on YouTube. You know, that you can be quite constructive with how you work without spending any money. If you have a teacher, that is a very, very good way to form your practice routine.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about actually being productive, as in from a songwriting point of view? And
well, that's a muscle. It's all of it's just muscles, isn't it? Even songwriting, if that's what you're talking about. Like, you know, any guitar thing is muscle training, muscle memory, and all that. And the same with songwriting. The more you do it, the better you get. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn. All that sort of stuff. I'd say, if practice wise, I think short stints with gaps in between. So if you practice something hard, for me anyway, I find my brain, if I play something, it doesn't matter if I play it for half an hour or whatever. It's got to go inside my head. So if I play it a few times, have a break, that time processing.
Yeah.
When I'm doing something else helps.
Offline processing is very, very important. The thing that will also aid your learning is sleep.
Yeah.
Good sleep is really nice. If you're trying to work on a if you're working on a part or working on something, good posture and sleep are the two things that will make you more creative than anything.
Completely agree with that.
Being hunched up like a cripple, a tired cripple, is not a good start to any gig or a session or anything like that. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah. Keep on Playing says, got your matches profiles for my Kemper. Very lovely, clean breakup sound. Lots of dynamics. Thank you, Paul. Anytime. Keep on playing. You strike for the what's it called? Ampex.
Yeah, Tonex.
Yeah, Tonex. Thank you, Tonex. Yes. Yeah, try that. It's really good. Pet says, did you see the Lukather Beato interview? Pat with great stories from his session days. Lovely guy as well. He is a nice guy. I like Steve Lukather.
Steve Lukather is the sort of guy that you could go in the pub with, and then 6 days later he'd still be telling stories.
Yeah.
I'd love that. The other guy I've heard who can tell a yarn or 5,000 is Quincy Jones.
Oh right, excellent.
Apparently, you have to plan to stop the session at least an hour earlier than planned, so you get his last story in. Apparently, so I'm told.
Mitten Guitars says, Steve, if you have the ability to blend in some room sound with the controller, do so. Pete Thorne also discussed some in-ears he's using where you can blend the room in. Mic is embedded. Yeah, I think that's a good idea if that's at all possible. But yeah, I heard about that. I still need to see that video.
Some good in ears, or so certainly the ones I've got. You can get the pack, and the ears have actually got a mic in them, each one, and you can blend some of the room sound into your ears.
That's basically that. Yeah, that's what he's saying. So maybe it's the same.
Yeah, the ACS ones, you can get the upgraded pack. I haven't got it, and you can blend in.
Where'd you get the pack from? We have to buy a different pack.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's another belt pack, basically. It's worth it, but I didn't because I'm surrounded by mics.
Yeah.
So I get room sound. I get room sound.
Interesting. Davor says, sorry I'm late, but my excuse is just bought a Marshall Governor from the 80s. Nice. Made in England one. Nice.
Awesome.
Love the Direct video. Thanks. That's a great pedal.
That was one of my best finds, wasn't it?
That's a great sounding pedal, that.
Mm-hmm.
Soundly Bananas Cam says, welcome to the Shouting Club hotline. We're currently experiencing very high call volumes. What?
Welcome to the Shouting Club hotline. We're currently expecting very high call volumes.
I see. It's a fun.
Bless him. Bless him.
I like it. I love all the what's going on with these acronymy things.
Yeah.
RTR INLV says nothing beats a real amp. But which plugins would you recommend home recording in the blues, rock, and some metal genres? When you say what plugins, would you mean like guitar plugins, like guitar amp simulators, or do you mean like? I guess we can quickly do that. Should we do? I think
guitar amp sims, Scuff
Mesgear does the lot. It's really good, and Tonex, the IK Multimedia Tonex, I think is really good.
Yeah,
to be honest, I got offered. Oh my gosh, I got offered. See, this does happen.
TH3 I really like. TH3 is that one of them?
Yeah, THR. I can't remember what it's called. Yes, I've never tried.
I really like that one. I like that one for feel. It feels
nice.
It feels really good.
I got just to in all honesty. So not everything we get offered we review. So I got offered a sort of standard review rate. So some things we charge for, some things we don't. And to do a review, this company wanted me to review their plugin. I tried it out and I said, can't do it. I cannot do it, and I won't say what it is, but it was a.
I'll ask you otherwise afterwards.
Oh my god, it was all. Monkey Shredder, music is my solace. So if I wanted to use an effects pedal on my stand alone plugin, how would I go about this? So if I wanted to use an effect pedal,
you would put the effect pedal in front of the input where you go into your interface.
So different depends what interface you've got. Ideally, what you want to do, I mean, so look, effects pedals are probably going to change your impedance. Not that that's a massive issue. Honestly, plug your guitar into the pedal, go into the interface. The only thing I would say is just be careful if you're used to driving the front of a valve amp with a pedal by boosting the volume. You can't do that with an interface, unless you leave lots of headroom. So just be careful about how loud you have it.
Yeah.
So have it at the same level as the guitar, as if you switched it out. Whoever put the L in Noel, is it hard to follow simple instructions? Actually, good, that one. So Peps, the other house is in another city, rented to someone, and I'm tired of problems with the house plus the taxes. So it got a gear. Oh, nice one. Well, I'm sorry it's got to go, but good that one less stress and all that. Pet says, is there any way to install 2 instances of the Aux app? Bad Cat Aux 1, Princeton Aux 2 is my thinking.
I don't think it is.
Well, they're both got different Wi-Fi.
They have to be on different Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Well, they have their own Wi-Fi, don't they?
But they talk to your network.
Not necessarily.
No, But the way the way I use mine is on my iPad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My iPad can also talk to the internet through the studio Wi-Fi, and the aux has been set to talk to the studio Wi-Fi.
I see.
You can leave the aux doing its own thing, but you then have to set your iPad to only talk to it and not the outside world.
Yeah, it is a pain. I would say if you've got a computer, have one of the auxes been run by the computer and have the other one run on your iPad. I don't think there's a way around it. But
once
then,
you set your rigs up, though, you probably wouldn't need to worry.
Yeah, you're right. That is true. Once you set it up, you don't have I definitely don't have the app open all the time.
Only if I'm doing a particular thing that requires a particular tweak, and it's probably not both.
You'd be safe with one of the presets.
Yeah.
Anything you think that a bit more reverb, a bit less reverb, whatever. Yeah. Click. Hope that helped. Shep says, sorry. Yeah, I hope that helped, Pat. Hold on to the 19th of February. Now Paul likes the Boss stuff. A new Boss product, maybe. Maybe. No, not as far as I know. It's not. I think it was 16th. I think it was 16th. Oh. Didn't I say 16th of February? I can't remember. I think it's 16th of February.
I don't know.
No, it's not a Boss product. See, Peps, I'm using
not
Tone Studio for reverb. Not
a Librarian app, which is the same.
And I find the reverb's good, but I need something bigger like the Strymon, but not as expensive. Okay. I'm not using the Tone Studio, but Librarian app, which is the same. I mean, the reverbs in the Katana, they're all right, but they're not going to be as good as having a Strymon. What about something like the MXR reverb? That's really good.
Or Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame goes massive.
Hall of Fame's great, isn't it? Yeah, Hall of Fame. You'll love that. That'd be great, Peps.
Yep.
Benjamin says, thanks, James and Paul, for your reply. Much appreciated. I love my Cat Artist Mark II. The only struggle I have is the change of volume with the different patches made by different people. How would you handle this? Just change the volume. Just set all the volumes up so they're similar. So if you like the sound of one, if you like the volume level of one, then change everyone else's volume to that just by touching, just by using the volume. The Katana's quite versatile like that, because if you turn up the volume on the channel, not the master volume on the channel, it doesn't really affect the tone. So you can turn, you can have it right back or right up, and it doesn't really affect the tone that much. Gleetings, folks, from Mark Gas Station. Willie Hardmeat. That's a good name. Okay, we laugh. Hi guys, how far behind with the chat are you this evening?
Half an hour, 40 minutes.
Oh, we could be that far back. Wow, let's bung through these. Let's do it. Yep. If you want a small house in Portugal near the Atlantic, I would gladly you for 96,837 and 55 euro. Pounds, sorry.
Yeah.
Or is that 968? 9,683,000.
No, I think that's 96,837.
There we go. Lovely jubbly. Okay, Michael P. So my list of ratings on your guitars is pretty much spot on. There we go.
Yep.
Well done, K. Michael P. Top Load says, "Hey Paul, you should consider adding a Vega-Trem VT1 Ultra to one of your Strats. It's totally reversible and non-invasive. It's amazing and would make a great video. I so should. Top Load, yeah, I so should.
But you don't use a whammy bar that much.
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yeah. Not like, I'm not Jeff Beck by any means, but no, I give it a little waggle every now and again. Connor McCormack. Hello, boys. Hello, Connor. Monkey Shredder. I wanted to use an effects pedal on my standalone plugin. How would I go about this? We've done this, haven't we?
Yes, we have. It's the same again. It's because we're late. People are getting bored.
Jeff Cook says the Vega Trem is an absolute apex. I have 3 of them on so far. Oh, nice. Gig's gone wrong. Totally unprofessional by the band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done,
I
Lee.
agree. I agree. But the thing is, you doubt yourself, don't you? You doubt when you're in that situation. You go, yes.
Sure. Top load. Just installed my first one. Super impressed. There we go. Put the link to join. I can share a story or two about gigs. I'm not sure we've got time today. I'd love to have Lee on. Always nice to have Lee on. I'm not sure.
We'll get on to it next week, Lee. Save it for next week.
Yes, definitely save that, Lee, because we'd love to have you on always. Des Halliday. Is Joe Bonamassa still bald? What?
Don't think so. He's got a great. He's 46. He has a great big coiffured. What's the word?
Anyway, I'm even wondering what the relevance of, and I'm not being sensitive because I'm a baldy.
Are you? I never noticed.
Believe it or not.
No idea.
John said he would buy Paul's flip flop. Thanks, mate. Indeed, I'm here. Nice to have you on, John. Hard Meat says, I've been offered a free ticket to the Darkness and Blackstone Cherry in Glasgow Monday. Should I go?
I'd go for Blackstone Cherry alone. I think they're great.
Who are Blackstone? I don't know Blackstone Cherry.
They're a great band. Proper 90s, noughties metal rock band. Proper, really good American band. Great. Yeah, Darkness, yeah. But it'll be a good show. It'll be a good show.
I don't like humor in music the way that the Darkness do it. Although I think they're a good band, and I bet that'd be a great gig.
Yeah.
Cheers, Mr. Brose. He said a couple of Guinnesses and strawberry shakes for you two. Cheers, mates. Thanks, David. That's very kind of you, mate.
Boom.
Des says KDH exposed Harley Benton pretty badly recently. Shocking quality control. Well, he would though, wouldn't he? That's his thing. It's just negativity and stuff. Anything to get views by being negative. That aluminium guitar is all one molded solid piece, solid aluminium neck as well. It's like £15 or 12, something like that. It's pretty heavy, isn't it? That's pretty heavy.
It is.
Oof. My next keys will be a CS6 Les Paul style with a P90 pickup. Oh, nice one. That's the one that we had a look at.
Yep.
Lightly with a black fade flame top chamber body and 3-piece walnut purple heart neck. Oof. With a Power Moon fretboard. Lovely, mate.
Nice. Very nice.
I don't think the Black Star Amp 2 has a tube. Thanks. Cheers, John. Francois, he says, how's it, fellas? Hope you had a good week. Paul, how do you find the blue Guitar Amp 1 for gigging? As loud as a full. Yes, it's a really loud amp. That's a good loud amp as well.
Yep. I did a gig with a guy who used one on a gig the other day, and it sounded great.
Yeah, you were really impressed, weren't you? JB Blues guitar. Oh, what's he got? Is that a PJD he's got there? It's nice, that. Effective practice routine. If you have an hour, 10 minutes warm up. So 10 minutes warm up, 20 minutes something you can do, 20 minutes something you can't do, and 10 minutes fun warm down. Excellent. Yeah. Nice one. That's a good tip. I'll look at that. Ron Quest Main says, James, how's your drum sound in your new studio? We talked about that, actually.
It's so good. Drum sound is awesome. It sounds great and records really nicely and stuff. So yeah.
Nice. Jim, hello from snowy Detroit. Hello, Jim. James Blessed says, I live in a flat and play through a Spark and headphones. I would love a valve amp, but is there any point? No.
Not if you want to keep your neighbours on side, definitely not.
Yeah, don't. If you live in a flat, mate, and if you can't turn up a valve amp wherever you live,
no,
I would say you're better off with the Spark.
And Spark is still 40 watts. When you crank it up, it's loud.
It does.
I use it for barbecues and stuff.
Jim says, really enjoyed your GX100 videos. Do you recommend FR speakers for in-room listening or other? Not getting near as good of a sound as you through my head rush. I'm surprised if you've got 2 of them. I'm surprised you're not getting a good sound. Little monitors are great for.
And remember, the Headrush speakers are only the Headrush FR cabs are only alto cabs with a Headrush badge on.
Yeah, they're fairly reasonably priced, aren't they? I would say.
Inexpensive.
That's a better word.
Yes, it's not like saying we're going to put it through a pair of top end studio monitors. It's not the same.
No, it's not. It's not. But you should get a good sound through it.
Do.
Yeah.
Um,
I would recommend. I mean, for in-ear rooms, I'd say 108s. Yeah,
should be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Des says, if you use 2 amps live, 1 mid forward, 1 more scoop, surely panning them hard left and right would negate the reason for using 2 complementary EQ curves. If you use 2 amps live, 1 mid forward, 1 mid scooped, 1 more scooped, surely panning them hard left and right would negate the reason. Yes, I would say so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to give you a nice stereo field.
Yes, but if you stick them, if you stick them, if the amps are, far left and right, or you've got it panned hard left and right, yes, I would say.
I used to play with a guitar player in a band, and he used a Marshall JMP1 and a Boogie 50-watt stereo 50-watt power amp.
Yeah.
And he took a 4x12, cut it up the middle, and put a panel down. And he had basically a 4x12 either side of the kit. So 2 12s one side, 2 12s the other. And that was the best stereo rig I'd ever heard at the time. This is going back, hang on. 6. Oh my God, 30 years.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Yes, that was the JMP1 era, I guess.
Yeah. And it sounded amazing. That and an Art Multiverb.
Nice. John says, any venues, pubs in London you would recommend for a good show? I'll be there 4th of Feb to the 10th. Oh yeah, get up Camden. What's the decent pubs in Camden? There's loads.
Dublin Castle still going.
Yeah, get up Camden. You'll have a nice time up there.
Or go into Soho. Go to the Weatherspoons on Wardale Street. O'Neill's on Wardale Street.
So gigs in there.
Yep, every night from about 10:30 till about 2.
Oh, nice. That's
or Piano Works on not Golden Square, on Leicester Square is another good one. It's where Karen plays a lot.
Oh, tooting a trumpet.
They have good bands there. The Piano Works stuff is really good. But yeah, Leicester Square, the oh, come on, Brian.
What's the one in Half Moon?
Half Moon. That's a bit far. Barnes is a bit far out there for the Bull's Head. Jazz Cafe, you're gonna get a good band, depending on your musical.
Ronnie Scott's still there.
Yeah, Ronnie Scott's still going, but you won't get in. It's all tickets in advance and.
Is
stuff.
it? Oh,
yeah.
What a shame! They've changed that.
It's changed a lot.
Oh, that's a shame.
Good venue though. Ronnie's is great, but you need to know where you're going to be and who you're going to see and stuff. It's not the same as it used to be. But where is?
It's true. Stefan says, is that a nanotube in the blue guitar a gimmick, or does it actually contribute to the sound? Apparently it contributes to the sound. Yeah, so apparently it's not a gimmick.
Unlike the Korg, was it the Triton Extreme that had the blue valve in it?
Yeah, the valve, didn't do anything.
No.
Des says, regarding Joe Bonamassa being bald, he didn't quit Twitter because someone said he was losing his hair. Is that what they're saying? Well, that's a bit sensitive.
Bit silly.
Topload says, I'm really happy with my Walrus ACS1. They're really good, in my honest opinion, for an amp and Pepsi. There we go. Nice one.
Yeah. Get up
Camden. I'd love to. Where will I? Very good. Well done, hard meat. Guy B, +1 for Piano Works.
Yep.
Mendel Rocks Bogner. I'm very curious to check out the Uber Ultra that's coming out this year. Nice.
I want the Lukather Bogner, but it's £3,000.
That's the Ecstasy. I'm sure it's the Ecstasy.
Yeah, Ecstasy. Yeah, it's £3,500 quid.
Nice.
We're there. We've got to the end. We've made it. We have.
Wow, we've done it.
Well done, sir. It's been a pleasure this evening, as always. I totally forgot to put the link in the show notes early doors, so we'll do that next week. So anyone who can come on and chat and stuff, we'll be back next week with more of the same old guff. We've got plenty more stuff planned. Some new pedals heading my way in kit form that now I have the space. I'm actually going to do a video of actually how I make them and stuff.
Nice.
Which should be fun.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, everyone, stay safe, and especially to those of you in parts of the world where we really hope you can stay safe and well, and all your family and all that sort of stuff. But we'll be back next Wednesday with more of the same. So for now, my name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
And we'll see you again very soon. Good night, everyone.
Cheers, guys.